So it's another day at VS. We had a promotion for a free bag. If you spend $75, then you get a free bag or free tote. That's something that often happens at VS. So this lady comes in and she's super excited. She's shopping around, racking up her bill so she has enough money to get a free tote. Little does she know, I'm at the register giving away my last free tote. She comes up to me like, hey girl, I got my bag full. I got my 75. I'm ready to get my tote. I'm like, I'm so sorry, miss. I actually just gave away the last one. You would have thought I just told her that I murdered a family member of hers because she was tight. And she's like, oh, really? So what are you about to give me? Because I'm spending 75 today. So what do I get for free? She's like, a shirt? A perfume? I need something. I'm not leaving without it. Like, miss, I'm sorry, we don't have it. It's up to you if you want to spend the $75, but we have no more gifts. It's while supplies last. So after debating back and forth with her, like, I'm sorry, I can't just give you a free perfume. I can't just pick a shirt off the wall and give it to you. If you look at the coupon, it's this promotion is only while supplies last. So she's like, well, can you call some of the other stores? I want to see if they have the free bags left. I'm like, sure. I mean, I guess I can call, but they're not going to let you just come to the store and get a free bag. You have to spend the money at their store. She dismissed that idea pretty quickly after she realized that she would have to go from our mall to another mall to possibly get this bag. And she didn't have any time to drive. So she just decides to refuse to leave the store until somebody gets her something because she is just so entitled. Of course, I have to get my manager involved, and he's like, look, let's just get this lady out of the store. Give her something. What do we have back here? So I'm digging behind the register, and we just so happen to find this old tote bag, not the one that we were promoting, an old one. So she spent the 75 and got that random tote bag just to keep her quiet.
Story time about the client who asked me to do her entire service for free. This client just so happens to be the first client that I've ever found on TikTok. Not long after I started making makeup artist story times, I had a few people reach out to me and ask if I would do their makeup. More specifically, if they could schedule an appointment to have their makeup done. We're gonna call this one in particular client Karen, and you'll see why in a second. Karen DM'd my Instagram account saying that she was a TikTok follower and that she had been trying to get a hold of me to schedule an appointment for her daughter. Her daughter was a senior in high school about to attend her senior prom. She told me that her daughter told her that she had been following me on TikTok since the beginning of my Makeup Artist Storytime series. She explained that she was a huge fan and that it would be great if there was any way that I would be able to do her daughter's senior prom makeup. I started by first asking her if she had a specific date or time in mind. Karen gave me all the details of her daughter's prom, and then I realized that she lives halfway across the country. That's when I told Karen that I was extremely appreciative for the opportunity, but there is no way that I would be able to fly halfway across the country. Karen was very understanding and thanked me for my time, but that's not where the story ends. A couple of weeks later, I hear back from Karen in my Instagram DMs. It said something along the lines of, hello, my daughter's senior prom is coming up and we would love for you to be able to do her makeup. Followed by the exact same date, time, and location that she had given me just a couple weeks ago. I was a little confused at first because our first conversation was literally saved right above this one. I responded back and told her again that I would not be able to make the event. I apologized for any inconvenience and I thanked her for the opportunity yet again. But of course, Karen was not going to take no for an answer. Karen started DMing me repeatedly, basically rephrasing her initial question in multiple different ways, and then I finally decided just to give her what she was asking for. I told her that I would be able to make the event if she was able to pay for a round-trip airfare, at least one night of a hotel stay, and pay for my services. Surprisingly, Karen actually agreed to this plan. Karen gave me a budget of $5,000, saying that that should cover my round-trip ticket, a hotel stay, and all of my services and products. To be completely honest, I really didn't think that this plan was going to go through, but I decided to play along anyway because it would be great to be able to meet some of my followers. As the date for her daughter's prom grew closer, I decided to reach back out to Karen and make sure her that everything was still okay. Previously, we had agreed on her paying me the $5,000 a couple of days before my departure. When I reached back out to Karen, she informed me that she thought $5,000 was just a little bit too much. I told her I would be willing to negotiate the price, but it would still have to cover the original terms of the agreement. Karen then told me that she would gladly give me her permission to use her daughter's face in a video if I would do the makeup and travel for free. I guess this is just a reminder that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. And yet another timeless Karen story. Thank you so much to everyone who has supported me on TikTok, and don't be a Karen. This is the story of the time my client accused me of sleeping with her husband. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. When I first started doing makeup, I worked at a MAC makeup counter, and a couple of years later, I was offered a job at a salon, and it worked pretty much the same as a hair salon. I would usually only take appointments, but if I had extra time, I would just go up there, sit, and wait for a walk-in. On this particular day, I didn't really have anything going on, so I decided I would just go sit up in the salon and wait for somebody to come in. It was probably around noon whenever the front desk called me and said that they had a walk-in appointment for their makeup. Would I be able to take her? I said yes, absolutely, because at this point in my career, I really needed the money. I went up to the front to get the woman and walk her back to my station, and when I introduced myself, she literally gave me the nastiest stank face I've ever seen. She never told me her name, but I figured she was probably just having a bad day, so I let it slide and continued walking her back to my station. On the way back, I asked her how her day was going, if there was a special event she was getting her makeup done for, and the entire time, we walked back in silence. When we finally got back to my chair, I asked her what kind of look she wanted to do today. Again, she left me with absolutely no response, so I offered to pull up some reference photos and have her just pick which one she liked the best. I told her we could tweak the colors, the shape, anything she wanted. After looking through some reference photos, she did finally give me an answer. She said, and I quote, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want, just make sure you don't make me ugly like you, okay?" This was by far one of the rudest things a client has ever said to me while doing makeup. But like I said before, I really needed the money, so I just went ahead and did her makeup anyway. After a couple minutes of me doing her makeup, I kept trying to make small talk, and my client was not having it, still. So instead, I just decided to turn on the radio to fill the silence. And when I did, she told me that my music sounds exactly like what her 13-year-old daughter listens to. Which, in some cases, I guess could be considered as a compliment, so that's how I took it. And after that, I pretty much didn't say anything until I got to the very end of her makeup. Once I was finished, I asked her if she liked it, if she wanted me to fix anything, because my only goal is to make sure she walks out of here feeling beautiful. My client looked in the mirror and almost immediately burst into tears. And not like quiet little sobs, like screaming, crying, bloody murder tears. I asked her if everything was okay. I assured her if she didn't like something, we could fix it. It was only makeup, and I asked her not to cry because we had just finished. And almost as quickly as she started crying, she stopped, stood up out of her chair, and bucked up at me. Like, I mean, for real, this girl posted up. I started yelling for help, saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, like, what's going on?" And that's when she told me, "I know who you are. I know you've been sleeping with my husband. Don't even try to pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about." When in reality, I had literally no idea what she was talking about. Since she had been so rude, I went ahead and played along. I said, "Well, that depends. What's your husband's name?" Even though I knew good and well I wasn't sleeping with anyone's husband. Long story short, I had to call salon security, and eventually the police got involved, but nobody got hurt.